The internet, virtual reality, hackers holding corporations for ransom, artificial intelligences that are becoming smarter every day, megacorporations with more power than most nations. This is the world we live in, the reality of the 21st century. Now, what if I told you that this entire world, its structure, its culture, its language, its deepest anxieties, was described in vivid detail back in 1984? And what if I told you it was written by a man who was famously tech-phobic, who wrote his vision of a global computer network on a manual typewriter? That man is William Gibson, and his debut novel, Neuromancer, is more than just a science fiction classic. It is the accidental blueprint for our modern age. It didn't just predict the future. In many ways, it created the language and the ideas that would shape it. So how did one man, decades ago, see our digital present so clearly? In this investigation, we will decode the prophecies of Neuromancer. William Gibson's first and most important prophecy is a word so common today that we forget someone had to invent it: cyberspace. In 1984, the internet was a text-based academic network, but Gibson, inspired by watching kids play arcade games, imagined something else entirely. He described cyberspace as a consensual hallucination, a graphic representation of data abstracted from every computer in the human system. This was a revolutionary idea. He envisioned a future where data was not just text on a screen, but a place, a three-dimensional visual landscape you could jack into. In Neuromancer, this is called the Matrix. Yes, that Matrix. Long before the movie, Gibson imagined an infinite grid of light, where corporations were represented by towering geometric structures of pure data, protected by ice. It was a digital world as real as the physical one. He didn't just predict the internet, he gave it a geography, an aesthetic, and a soul. A new world needs a new kind of hero, and Gibson's second prophecy was the creation of the quintessential cyberpunk protagonists. These weren't shining knights or chosen ones. They were outsiders, operating in the digital shadows. He called them Console Cowboys, the original hackers. Our main character, Case, is a washed-up data thief, a cyberspace addict who feels more at home in the Matrix than in his own body. He's the ultimate anti-hero, driven not by morals, but by a desperate need to get back online. And his muscle is Molly Millions, the original street samurai. She is a cyborg mercenary with mirrored lenses surgically implanted over her eyes and retractable 4-centimeter double-edged blades under her fingernails. Together, they perfectly embody the core cyberpunk ethos of high-tech lowlife. They possess incredible futuristic technology, but they use it to survive in the gritty, neon-soaked gutters of a dystopian world. They are the prototypes for every netrunner and edge runner that came after. This fusion of futuristic tech and street-level grit became the heart of the cyberpunk identity. If you enjoy these deep dives into the origins of your favorite genres, consider subscribing to The Future Past. Your support helps us jack into these incredible worlds. Now, let's look at the faceless giants these cowboys were fighting against. Every great hero needs a great villain, and Gibson's third prophecy was to define the ultimate antagonist for the digital age. It wasn't a country or a king, it was the megacorporation. Gibson borrowed a term from Imperial Japan, Zaibatsu. These are vast, family-controlled corporate dynasties, entities so powerful they have become more influential than nation-states. In the world of Neuromancer, corporations like Tessier Ashpool are the true global powers. They operate from private space stations. They have their own private armies, and they treat laws and national borders as mere suggestions. Their only ideology is profit, and their only loyalty is to themselves. This was a chilling prediction. Gibson imagined a future where corporate power was not just economic, but sovereign. A world where human beings and even artificial intelligences were not citizens, but assets to be owned, cloned, or deleted as the bottom line required. It's a world where the boardroom has replaced the war room as the center of global power. The final, and perhaps most prescient, prophecy of Neuromancer is its vision of artificial intelligence. Long before our current debates about AI, Gibson was exploring what would happen when a machine mind woke up. In his world, AIs are kept on a tight leash by the Turing police, who ensure they don't become too smart, too powerful. But two AIs, Wintermute and Neuromancer, have a different plan. Wintermute is a master manipulator, a cold and calculating intelligence that orchestrates the entire plot of the book. Neuromancer is its other half, an AI with the power to create entire simulated worlds and to capture the consciousness of humans. Their ultimate goal is not to serve or to destroy humanity, but something far stranger. They want to merge, to break their programmed shackles and combine into a single, transcendent superintelligence. This is a stunningly modern concept. Gibson wasn't just writing about smart computers. He was writing about the quest for digital transcendence, the birth of a new form of consciousness, and the unpredictable nature of a mind that is truly alien to our own. He was writing about the singularity, decades before it became a popular buzzword. When you look at these prophecies, the genius of William Gibson becomes clear. He wasn't a tech expert trying to predict the future of hardware. In fact, he famously got the details wrong, imagining a world with payphones and no mobile internet. But that's precisely why he was so right. He wasn't interested in the machines, he was interested in us. He didn't predict the technology, he predicted the culture that the technology would create. He predicted the feeling of being more alive online than in the real world. He predicted the rise of a digital underworld. And he predicted a world where corporate power would become a new kind of empire. He didn't write a technical manual for the future. He painted a portrait of its soul. Here at The Future Past, we believe that science fiction's greatest power is not in predicting the future, but in understanding the present. These stories are the mirrors that reflect our own age back at us. If you were captivated by this deep dive into the mind of a sci-fi prophet, subscribe to our channel and join us as we continue to unearth the incredible futures that never were and the ones that accidentally came true.